They told me to take down my American flag, or face daily fines. At first, I thought it was some kind of clerical mistake. After all, who fines someone for hanging a flag on their own porch? But the HOA wasn't joking. Here's what happened. I'd always flown an American flag outside my home, not a giant banner, not a flashing display, just a modest, respectful flag mounted to a pole on my front porch. It was my way of showing pride in my country, and it had been there for months without issue. Then one morning, I opened my mailbox and found a violation letter. Notice of violation, unauthorized exterior display. Remove immediately or face $100 daily fines. I called the HOA office thinking it had to be a mistake. You mean the flag? That's not against the rules, right? The manager's voice was cold. The flag is not an approved decoration. It disrupts the uniform look of the community. Take it down. I was stunned. Disrupts the look? This was the American flag. Not a neon sign, not graffiti. I refused. I told them plainly, the flag stays. That's when the threats escalated. More letters arrived, each with higher fines. They even hinted at placing a lien on my home if I didn't comply. But what the HOA didn't count on was that I knew my rights. I dug into federal law and found exactly what I needed, the Freedom to Display the American Flag Act of 2005. It clearly states that no homeowners association can restrict a resident from displaying the U.S. flag on their own property, as long as it's displayed respectfully. I sent the HOA a certified letter quoting the law word for word. I attached a photo of my flag and a copy of the statute. My message was simple. You were not just wrong, you re-breaking federal law. Their response? Another fine notice. They ignored the law entirely. That's when I decided to fight publicly. I reached out to the local news, and within days the headline ran, HOA tries to ban homeowners' American flag. The story spread fast. Cameras filmed my flag waving gently on the porch, the violation letter taped beside it. Reporters interviewed neighbors, many of whom were outraged. Some were veterans. One said, "That flag is why we even have the freedom to live here. The HOA should be ashamed." Support started pouring in. Neighbors who had stayed quiet began putting up their own flags in solidarity. Suddenly, the entire street was lined with red, white, and blue. The HOA had wanted uniformity. Well, they got it, just not the kind they imagined. Under massive public pressure, and with the federal law staring them in the face, the HOA folded. The fines were erased, the violation withdrawn, and a statement was issued saying they had reviewed their policies. In other words, they got caught. Now, my flag flies proudly every day, and every time I look at it, I'm reminded that sometimes standing up to an HOA isn't just about property rights, it's about principle.